Hey guys, so in today's script, I want to demonstrate a little tool I have for going through and decoding a URL. It also parses it on the question mark and ampersand. And I do that because when I'm working on automating web scraping and I'm trying to figure out how the search parameters work or how a given page is loaded in the URL, it's just a little complex. So let's go ahead and take a look at, like, let's say we're in LinkedIn, and let's say, looking at right now here, the search just has results people question mark origin equals nothing, right? So let's say I look for AUTOHOTKEY people, right? So let's add this here. Now you can see keywords equals AUTOHOTKEY and origin equals history. Great. Okay, that's still not overly complex, right? I can make that out. But what if we add a level where we just want our first, let's say first and second level connections? Suddenly it starts looking a little crazy. And let's say we looked only in the US and India. And suddenly this begins to get pretty long here, right? And let's say we also apply only those working at let's leave that off. That would drop it down a lot. Not that it matters, but let's see here. Let's say they work in the computer software industry or IT. So I'm going to apply. Now look at this URL, right? This is a lot to understand. And what's really helpful though is once you can understand how the search is affecting your query and what it returns back, then you could automate building that in AUTOHOTKEY and either load that page or run the query or do an API call, right, and feed that to it. So let's copy this, and I'm going to put it into site and paste it. Now I'm going to duplicate it just so we can see the original, and then we're going to look at it. So I'm going to highlight it and hit, oops, not that one, this one, Alt-D. Now it did two things, right? First off, it converted these like %5b and then %22. So the %5b I think is the equal sign, and this bracket was the %20. No, I think that was the quote. Sorry, double quote. Yeah, I recognize the %22. So %5b was the bracket, and then the %22 is the double quote. But this is readable, right? I could easily, if I knew the other country codes, which I can use I can manipulate the search to figure that out, I could go build my tool, right? My parameters to go. The industries, now I don't know what a 496 is, so I'd want to do one at a time and say which one was 4, which one was 96. But then later I could automate that driving of the web page. But see how easy it is to read it this way? It parsed it on the question mark. Instead of having it all up here, it's just easier for me to bring it down. I think I inserted a tab probably, and then I can see the key value. So here's the key. This is the key, and this is the value being passed in HTTP protocol. So each one of these, after your first one in HTTP protocol, it's a question mark. After that, then they say now use an ampersand to parse each one. So this is an invaluable little, the general approach, but the tool just makes it where I just hit a hotkey, right, and it duplicates it. What I probably could even should do is say, don't just replace it, but send the original and this, and that way I don't have to remember to back up my original in case for some reason I want it. But of course I wouldn't want to do that every time. So I do like the way it works. It's a simple script where I go through and replace. First, just hit it twice and go through the question mark. Replace that with a line. Oh yeah, so a line return and then a tab. Oops, sorry, and then a tab, and then put back in the question mark. And so it's shoving it back in there, right? So it does that. It does it again on. I could have wrote a regular expression to say look for either a question mark or an ampersand, and then capture it, then put it back in. But it was just simpler. I did this in a couple minutes. Now one here, I was looking at this a little earlier. Here's the URI decode. I grabbed that from the forum somewhere. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. So I'm not going to get into this, but that's a good decode function. And I noticed here was, hey, you know what? I'm all about simplifying, right? This line here where I say, at first store this in decoded, and then use the decode. This is where the input variable, then store it in decoded, and then do it again for the next one and store it in decoded. And then here, I'm shoving it into the clipboard. Well, you know what? I can save myself a line here, right? Because I can just take this and put it right here. And so always think about how to optimize your code, right? Can I get rid of some extra lines or a little space or memory manipulation, right? So it's just a simple way. Make sure before you send the paste, when you shove something in the clipboard, put a little sleep in it. Trust me, This can be a baffling thing if it happens too fast. If you shove something in the clipboard and you paste right after, it often doesn't. It actually sends the paste before the clipboard has the contents in it. So that's just a little cool tip there. And I hope you like it. This was a very helpful. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But I'd love to hear, if you think this is cool or some way you might adapt that approach. Cheers.